Do you know the Ekranoplans? Are they planes or boats? Learn everything about them in this video. Don't forget to like, share, and leave your suggestion. Thank you for watching and welcome aboard. In the late 1950s, the world silently watched the rise of the Cold War. Amid the ice of the Caspian Sea, Soviet engineers tested something never seen before, a vehicle that was neither a plane nor a ship. The concept of the Ekranoplan was born, capable of flying just above the water, using the so-called ground effect. It was as fast as a jet, but stealthy like a boat. They called it the Sea Monster. The Soviet Union kept it top secret. This giant skimmed the waves without touching the sky, confusing radars and captivating its creators. While the West invested in jets and missiles, the Soviets envisioned a new form of maritime domination. Few knew it, but one of the boldest ideas in 20th century military engineering was taking shape. The physics behind Ekranoplans is both simple and brilliant. When a flat wing flies very close to the surface, land or water, the air between the wing and the ground is compressed, generating extra lift. This dramatically reduces drag and allows the craft to glide at high speed using less energy. That compressed air acts like an invisible cushion, supporting tons with elegance and efficiency. Soviet engineer Rostislav Alexeyev realized this natural force could be used to create a new class of vehicles. Having already mastered hydrofoil technology, he wanted to go further. The Ekranoplan would be faster than any ship and more efficient than any low-altitude aircraft. The utopia of speed and efficiency seemed within reach. The largest Ekranoplan ever built was called KM, Korabel Maket, an experimental prototype over 92 meters long, weighing more than 500 tons. Flying low over the Caspian Sea, it reached speeds of up to 500 kilometers per hour. American spy satellites couldn't decipher what was. A plane? A ship? A missile? It earned the nickname Caspian Sea Monster. With 8 jet engines mounted on its front wings, the KM defied the laws of physics. But it was real, under secret orders from the Soviet command. It flew regularly, proving the concept's viability. Alexeyev believed it was the future of transport and warfare, though it remained experimental. The KM flew for 15 years before an accident ended its career. Following the KM's success, the military demanded an operational version. The Lewin was born, a combat Ekranoplan armed with Moskit missiles, supersonic anti-ship weapons. Launched in 1987, it was a maritime giant with stubby wings and a massive fuselage. Seen head-on, it looked alien, with 7 jet engines. It reached 550 kilometers per hour. Its mission, approach enemy fleets stealthily and strike. Radar barely detected it. Flying so low, it was a seaborne fighter like no other. But with the Soviet collapse, the project lost funding. The Lewin saw little action and was soon retired. Today, it rests silently on the shores of the Caspian under bed, a monument to forgotten engineering. Alexeyev didn't want only military machines. He dreamed of Ekranoplans transporting passengers and cargo across seas, lakes, even deserts. The A-90 Orleanak was the first step. It could carry troops and vehicles quickly and safely, landing directly on water. It was an amphibious jet, ideal for remote areas. Despite its promise, high costs and political instability halted civilian development. Still, the idea lived on. In a world where time is everything, the Ekranoplan remains appealing. In the 1990s, the Soviet Union collapsed, and so did the dream. But as with all great inventions, the concept never truly disappeared. Although designed for seas, Ekranoplans were also tested on ice and desert plains. Firm, flat surfaces also allow ground effect. Military strategists imagine them crossing Siberia, the Central Asian desert, or the Arctic, transporting goods with surprising speed. They didn't need runways or ports, just open space. In remote regions, this versatility could revolutionize logistics. With fewer moving parts in planes and more capacity than helicopters, they seemed ideal, but operation required skill and stable weather. A single wave or gust of wind could destabilize them. Still, tests proved their adaptability. The Ekranoplan began to be seen as a multi-environment platform. With USSR's fall in 1991, military projects were abruptly canceled. The Central Hydrofoil Design Bureau, Alexiev's home, was dismantled. Factories halted. Ekranoplans were abandoned, left to rust in the snow and salt of the Caspian. The Lewin was dragged ashore, Orleanoc forgotten. A few engineers defended their usefulness, but without funding or political support, nothing moved forward. In the West, Ekranoplans were seen as exotic curiosities. The once promising ground effect vanished from discussion. The silence was deafening, but the files remained, and in them, calculations still capable of inspiring wonder. In the early 2000s, aviation enthusiasts rediscovered Ekranoplans. Articles, videos, and images of KM and Lewin circulated online, rekindling fascination. Small companies in Germany, South Korea, and China began testing civilian versions. The promise was attractive: fast, economical, ecological vehicles to revolutionize regional transport. In Russia, new proposals emerged, including hybrids between hydroplanes and Ekranoplans. Governments were still hesitant, but the technology was accessible. The world had changed. Now, water-based logistics and remote connectivity made Ekranoplans more relevant than ever. Once a military secret, the concept was now an open-source innovation playground. With its vast coastline and maritime ambitions, China began investing in ground effect studies. Small-scale prototypes emerged, both for commercial and military use. The goal: connect islands and coastal zones quickly and cheaply. Rumors spoke of armed Ekranoplans for rapid strike operations. China knew this technology offered a strategic edge in the South China Sea, where territorial disputes simmered. Russia proposed partnerships, eager to revive its legacy. Though still early, China's Ekranoplan project suggests the idea is far from dead, perhaps even reborn under a new flag. Flying just meters above the surface demands extreme precision. A single wave, rock, or gust could be fatal. Ekranoplans need highly reliable navigation and control systems. In Soviet days, it was nearly all manual. Today, with AI, modern sensors, and GPS, these challenges are more manageable. But technical hurdles remain: stabilizing flight, correcting aerodynamic disturbances, operating in rough seas. With no runways, they also need large, safe areas for takeoff and landing. Safety has always been a major concern. Yet recent advances in avionics show it's possible to tame these beasts. Once uncontrollable monsters, they may now become precise tools. Automation brings new possibilities. Unmanned Ekranoplans, with flight algorithms and embedded sensors, small craft could cross vast distances carrying cargo or conducting patrols. The U.S. Navy studies the concept for maritime drones. In Russia, remote surveillance Ekranoplans are being discussed. Flying below radar, fast and nearly silent, they could serve strategic needs. For civilian use, autonomous models could connect remote ports with minimal infrastructure. Picture cargo skimming over the sea, hours instead of days. Autonomy removes human risk and expands operational range. A new Ekranoplan generation is on the horizon. Smaller, safer, smarter, and maybe driverless. Ekranoplans live on the edge of sea and sky. Neither ships nor planes. They are hybrids of a world still taking shape. With advancing technology and a demand for faster, cleaner logistics, their return feels possible. Russia holds onto old plans. China pushes forward. Startups test new designs. And the public rediscovers these futuristic machines from a forgotten past. The dream of flying just above the water, cutting across horizons with grace and power, still lives. The Ekranoplan isn't just a machine. It's a symbol of visionary engineering and a willingness to explore the unknown. Its future may be about to take off, just a few feet from the ground.